Another one of our Iowa natives, Brett Moffitt, driver of the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Brett, what does it mean for you to come back home here to Iowa to race this weekend?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously being Father's Day weekend probably is the most special part of it, getting to come back here and spend time with my family. And then we'll get to celebrate Father's Day on Sunday. So hopefully the race goes well. I've gotten him two trophies from here on Father's Day, so hopefully we can add another one.
Awesome. We'll open up to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start up in the front with Connor and Philip.
Connor Ferguson, Always Race Day. I can't get the volume figured out on this microphone. Brett, you're going to drive a sprint car on Sunday with Gio Scelzi. Are you excited? Have you driven a sprint car before? What's that going to be like?
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I've never driven a sprint car before. I ran Chili Bowl once in a midget and have done some micro sprint racing, but yeah, that's going to be a whole nother animal. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to be a learning curve and hopefully just slowly walk my way into running with it.
Hey, Brett. No, I won't even try.
No, go ahead.
Hey, Brett. Hey, Brett. Philip Jones from the Des Moines Register, like I said. Can you talk a little about how your Central Iowa upbringing laid the foundation for your stock car career?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest part of it is one, my father and his work ethic. He instilled that in me in a very early age. When we started racing go-karts, we literally just started as a hobby because he worked all the time, and my mom told him we need something to do. So we got to doing that. I tried go-karts once. I hated it. And then a year later, I wanted to do it again for some reason, and away we went. But I just think, I guess part of it's the quality of people around here. There's really good people, very family-oriented, very hard workers. So that has gotten me through a lot in my race career. I don't feel like if I had that backbone, I would probably still be here today. So, yeah.
And then, this track, I know that you've been gone. You've been out of Central Iowa for quite some time, but this track opened in 2006 when you were young. Did you come here and, given your experience now racing in very high levels of stock car racing, did you ever think that a Cup Series race would come here?
No. Well, originally when it opened, yes, I thought, they would have got a Cup date sooner. But 2006 was actually the year I started racing go-karts. So it's kind of coincidence, but we did come here. We got tickets to, I think Rusty Wallace was here for the grand opening and whatnot, and I got to come see it. And to be a 10-year-old go-kart racer and see a place like this, it's pretty insane and overwhelming. So that was really cool and definitely helped spark my interest in motorsports and trying to get to the NASCAR level. But that was just when I was starting out, so we had no idea we'd be where we are today.
Brett, what would a win here this weekend mean to you?
It'd be huge. I'm not going to lie, it would be very difficult. Obviously, we're with a very good race team in JGR, but to run a part-time schedule, you got to get caught up to speed quick. You got to execute all the small details and be there at the end of the race. So it would mean the world to me. It'd probably be one of the biggest wins in my career personally, just given the circumstances of the lack of racing this year and getting this opportunity in the Xfinity Series. I've wanted to have a chance to win Xfinity races for a long time, and it just never aligned. So to be with one of the best teams in the garage is huge for me and gives me a lot of confidence.
Hey Brett, John Bonenkamp, Associated Press. You've been here for a lot of these weekends, like you said. Does this how much of a different feel is it this weekend with the Cup Series and what the crowd's expected to be and all that? How much of a different feel is it for you?
Visually, just driving in, it's much different, right? Like it looks more like what I saw on TV with the IndyCar events. So that's huge. It makes me very happy to see this place flourishing, and just hearing the rumors of what the attendance is going to be and how hard people are trying to get tickets. People that I know are trying to get tickets. It's really inspiring for the Iowa Speedway, and being from Iowa, that makes me very happy to hear. So it's definitely different. From my perspective, it hasn't changed a whole lot yet other than the visuals. But once we get out there on the racetrack and then tomorrow for race day, I think it'll be a little bit overwhelming to see how far this place has come.
Any additional questions for Brett? Go back in front.
Sorry about that. Brett, the repave here. What are your thoughts on it?
It'll be interesting. Yeah, the repave was, obviously NASCAR had their reasons for why they did it the way they did it. But it's definitely going to be, we're going to have to go into it very open-minded and see how it plays out and how the second groove comes in. Obviously, once we get to racing too wide on restarts, it's going to have to be there. The biggest question mark for me is the restart zone. The outside lane has a very, very big advantage with how the repave is on old pavement versus new pavement. So that'll definitely play into our race tomorrow, and we'll just see how it all works out.
If I could just follow up on something too, I'm curious, as you've been living in North Carolina or as you've come back here and talked with friends and family, have you gotten wind of how, in central Iowa, it seems like this has really transcended traditional motorsports fans and is a real popular thing right now. Is that good for motorsports in Iowa, and could that create more opportunities for young kids like you once were here?
Yeah, I think, everyone right now, if you look at the go-kart ranks, you got to be at Millbridge, right? Like, that is the place to be. All the drivers' kids are racing there. You're racing the best cars, but I don't think for a young kid to make it in motorsports, you necessarily have to go that route. I think just working on your racecraft and hopefully this is inspiring more people to become, race fans and participate in the sport. Like I said, like me and my dad just started as a hobby. So if you just need something to do with your son and want to spend a lot of time together, it's a great way to have a really good relationship. So I think it, this weekend should help the morale for motorsports around here. And we're in the dirt track country. World of Outlaws are here this weekend too. So, that's always another route where you can be a professional motorsports driver racing dirt full time nowadays. So, I hope it helps. I hope it helps grow it and helps people get opportunities.